Offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. I think it's a beautiful day. Paul, you left the studio again without turning it over to you, but let me see if I got it. Let's see if I did it correctly. You have to turn your mic on. Let's see.
Hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Look at this. I'm learning. You know what? It takes a little bit of time. I need repetition. Even when I do remotes and I have all that equipment, and they'll tell you, like, if a month goes by before I use the remote equipment, there's like one button that I forget that I have to push.
Always, because it's like a series of operations
Oh my God.
that you have to do.
It's muscle memory, right? The reason I can do the board is that now, I was thinking about this in the hallway. I'm at about 12 years now in broadcasting, 12 or 13 years. I love when people send me anniversary cards because nobody ever did that at my previous job. So I never really knew how long I was there. I just kept showing up and kept my head down. So at any rate, the reason it's all muscle memory though.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at any rate, so this one, I think I got it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, it's like I said, it's a couple steps. We have to roll you up a little bit. Anyway,
this is the first time I never had to run back there. For
Yes.
you, so that's a big first step.
Yeah, and Matt Cummings, our operations manager, also didn't have to pop his head in to assist me. All right, I feel good. I did a layup all on my own. Look at that. I drove down the court. Right. I traveled a little. I'm gonna be honest. A little over. I carried the ball a little bit.
It's like the Globetrotters. We don't count it, though.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because we both love baseball. You possibly a lot more than I do. I love baseball. I do. But I was sitting in a bar about a month ago at one of my favorites, Rex Tavern. You and I ran into each other there once. I love that place. And I was watching the TV. I'm like, what is it? Why are these baseball players dancing?
Wearing bright yellow.
What is I don't understand. And there's one guy's doing a backflip, and I didn't understand what was happening. And someone, what is this? I thought it was like when I was a kid, there was a team called the King in His Court. It was a traveling softball team.
Okay.
And there was a women's team.
Never heard of it, but okay.
Yeah, the King in His Court is similar. They would do like tricks and stuff, but not like this. This is insane. So if you guys don't know about the Savannah Bananas and Savannah Ball, this guy has revolutionized baseball. Now what do you think as a baseball purist? How do you feel about this?
Oh, well, it's purely fun. I just hope that the sport doesn't turn into whatever this is. You know, it's a great entertaining thing, and I'm actually just shocked that it's so popular, that it's selling out all throughout the U.S. Like to the point where when they were in town last weekend or 2 weekends ago, they have another set in like Arkansas that was playing. So it's like they've gotten so popular that there's like 4 teams going around doing this now. But it looks like it's pure fun. And as you know, as far as when they were in Chicago, the fact that they got so many members of the 2005 White Sox out to play with them one more time, I think just kind of shows like what they're all about. Like they bring in the nostalgia while giving like a new element to it. They're bringing families together. They're finding new ways to have fun at the ballpark. It's really great. I just hope that Major League Baseball doesn't get any ideas from that.
I think you're right. Although, I mean, did the Harlem Globetrotters have that effect on basketball? Maybe.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
I don't know. This seems a little different, though, because like the Globetrotters are always beaten up on like, you know, the New York Nationals or the Washington Generals, you know, the ringers of like 5'5" white guys. Whereas this is like an actual game that's being played that seems like the Bananas don't win all of their games.
Sure.
Like the tailgaters or the party monsters or whoever they're playing might win.
Firemen. I think one of the teams.
The firemen, yeah.
Hello. Just saying. I mean, that's the thing. So it's all casting, too.
Yeah.
These guys can dance. There's one guy who can catch a fly ball while doing a backflip.
Yeah, a guy on stilts that's
the guy on
pitching,
stilts is so cute. So I don't even watch the 60 Minutes interview with a bunch of them.
I didn't see it, but I knew they were on 60 Minutes.
Well, yeah, and he was talking about how, he didn't make it into the majors, right? He'd played baseball his whole life. So once he didn't make it, he was like working at some store, was a sales guy. And his sister called and she said, hey, there's this team. They're looking for unique baseball players. He's like, yeah, I'll try out. She's like, bring your stilts. And he was like, what?
Wow.
He'd gotten stilts like when he was in high school or something like that. It's really, I'm just getting the chills of like the people who, dreamt of playing baseball. And now like, you're right. It's not Major League Baseball, but it reminds me of the mirth that I loved from the movie Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Right, like the clown and having the bull and like the shenanigans, right?
Yep.
And like the silly stuff, like doing the wave.
My wife and I just recently cracked up about the scene where he hits the home run and the bull is just making its noises.
Yes,
like so it just reminded me of that.
Amazing. I mean, everything about that. Like I played baseball and softball, and we had the All-Star girls softball team play the All-Star boys team at Thillins over here in Chicago, over by Devon over there, and it was funny because we knew we were going to get shellacked, so it wasn't even. And we all just had fun.
What did you play? Baseball or softball?
We played softball, but we let the boys throw overhand if they wanted to, but they couldn't throw hard. Right,
Okay.
It's like a whole thing, and then I'm an outfielder because partly because I'm a lefty and I'm not that fast.
I know how that goes. Same thing. Lefty,
my eye-hand coordination
only could play the outfield.
Yeah, I could catch. I got good at catching fly balls, but it took me a long time. Probably about 5 years, right?
Okay.
So, I started playing when I was 9. At any rate, but I played catcher when we played the All-Star game because I loved Crash Davis so much. I wanted to be the person behind a plate, like razzing the batters and, goofing off with the umpire and stuff. Just so that, and like me and my friend Susie, we would wear like these really loud, obnoxious boxers under our baseball pants. So at some point during the game, we would just drop our pants and like walk around. Like it was just silly. I have a great photo of us from, it's 1988.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah, she was good.
I remember that year.
She was really good. Susie was, she actually was a catcher. She was all city. She played for Taft. They won city. I think they won state like twice when she was on the team. Cool. And then we played on a traveling all-star team. It was slow pitch. It was slow pitch hardball. So it was a 12-inch softball. So we had that high. I hated it so much.
Yeah. Not like the 16-inch rag ball that we have in
that.
town.
I hate more. I hate that more because you can't use a mitt. I have to use a mitt. But I like my thumb bones. Yes, I like my thumb bones. Put that on a shirt. I like my thumb bones. Yeah. I can still feel it popping out of place from those times I tried playing 16-inch. But we won All-State in Illinois, and then we won. We were 5th place in the Midwest.
Wow.
But I was backup because these girls were phenomenal.
But you were on the team.
I was on the team. I backed up the phenomenal players. What do you need?
Even David Ross was on the championship Cubs, and he just only caught Lester sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take it. I got a half a game. That's all I need, Coach. Throw me in, Coach. At any rate, back to the Savannah Bananas. Yeah, that's why that's what they reminded me of, was sort of that feeling I get from Bull Durham.
I could see that, yeah, because it definitely captured that like the minor league baseball and how it's like got its unique charms that you just don't see at the major league level, and that's my favorite baseball movie. So I don't know how much I can quote on the air, but it's just such a classic.
The rose goes in the front.
Really, just like the silliness sometimes of what's going on. Like the mound scene is the famous one where it's like you think they're talking about the game, but it's like someone's getting married, they don't know what to get them. Yep. Some guy has a curse on his glove.
Yep, and then someone's parents are in the stands.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right. Yeah, and Nuke's breathing out his eyelids, and they're all jammed up.
And we've talked about how, by the way, speaking of his eyelids, I have, and there's going to be 10 people in the audience who are going to understand this. I have an autographed baseball from Fernando Valenzuela. Have we talked about this?
I don't think you've mentioned this.
Yes,
no.
I have an autographed baseball from my dad. Used to take me. He would only take me to see the Cubs when Fernando was pitching. My dad hated the Cubs. I think we've covered this because a ball player.
You Phil Cavaretta.
Yes, in 1943, told him to go F himself, and my dad went home. And
I found out later that Cavaretta was like an NL MVP at the time too, so he wasn't just like a slouch of a player.
No.
He was like something that a young lad would want to look up to.
Yeah.
Someone that,
Oh, my dad worshipped the Cubs, including him. Yeah. So at any rate, so my dad hated the Cubs, but he would take me when the Dodgers were in town, in particular when Fernando was on the mound. And so in my very broken Spanish, we went to, because they have you been to Wrigley where the players go up into the clubhouse? I don't know how it is now, but they had like a chain link fence around the stairs, and then there's a balcony that's open. And so, su firma por favor, like your signature, please. And I had a pen and a baseball, so I still have that.
Very cool.
I also have Minnie Minoso's. I've told this story too. Minnie Minoso's autograph.
Very cool. I've always heard that he was always friendly to kids.
So
Minnie
sweet.
Minoso.
We were at Norwood over here, and all the boys were trying to get their autograph because he came to hang out with us and give a speech and inspire us. And so we all were given this little, like a black and white baseball card of him. It wasn't really a baseball card; it was a black and white photo. So we all had pens and a card, or he had a pen, and everyone's reaching. And I was just kind of standing back because I don't like crowds, even at 9. And he reached over them and he waved me over all the boys and took my card, and he goes, "Don't ever let them tell you can't play."
That's awesome.
And if you go on an Adam Seltzer tour of Graceland Cemetery, where they have a monument to Minnie Minoso, he has a photo of that picture because I sent him a copy of it. And he tells that story.
Very cool.
So it's all Chicago history. I gotta put that in the book. I forgot about Minnie. Anyway, Savannah Bananas. Those tickets, did you know that some of those tickets to Comiskey were going up for like $1,000?
Insane, yeah.
It was nuts.
I think at the lowest I saw was like $250, and even then I don't know if that was obstructed view or standing room only or not.
Yeah. Well, folks, if you don't know who we're talking, what baseball league we're talking about, check out Banana Ball, Savannah Bananas. It's just a lot of fun on social media. They're brilliant marketing. One of the reasons they sell out is because they have they limit the number of tickets they'll sell. They have a waiting list, which I think it sort of gets more of that energy of wanting to go to the game. Let's talk a little bit about our sponsors who just helps that little light 15 minutes of talking about baseball, because I need some levity. There's a lot going on. There are 55 million people in this country on visas who are now going to be scrutinized to see if they should be deported. That was announced today. Donald Trump apparently is going to go. He's going to play police officer. I hope they give him like a little kid's hat, like a plastic gun and a little holster, so he can
sticker badge.
Yeah, exactly. Like what's his name? Who was a football player who got a badge and he felt deputized? The one that was running again, was it? I don't know if he ran against
Brian
Ossoff.
Bosworth? Or,
no, the football player that someone's going to text us in and be really mad that I couldn't remember. Herschel? No, that wasn't. Something with an H, wasn't it? Anyway,
Herschel Walker.
Is that right?
The guy that ran for Senate in Georgia?
Yeah, remember? He got a badge, and he was all excited because he felt like he was a cop. So it's gonna...
I don't remember that, but I could see him getting excited about
he was super excited.
that police badge.
Yeah, they're going to pat him on the head and treat him like he's law enforcement. So that's happening. The $500 million, $500 million that Donald was fined, it was Herschel Walker. Thank you very much, the 773. That's been thrown out. However, the verdict stands. But turns out that's still just what the darn me. Why? I'm always throwing out things that people have to remind me of what their names are. At any rate, so those are all the things that are happening. So sometimes I like to talk about baseball and other things, movies and stuff like that. So I'm grateful to our sponsors who are patient with my my scattered brain. But I'll come back around and talk about all of the important things going on. We are going to talk to our friends from Barrington. We're going to talk to Lindsay, who's the president of Barrington Area Democrats. They have an event, Democracy Ain't Dry. And we'll talk a little bit about that with her because somebody, of course, posted on my wall that we don't live in it. The democracy doesn't belong in America, and that's really what these folks want to do. We want to thank our sponsors, Minocqua Brewing Company. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. Please subscribe to their newsletter or sign up for their Substack, where you'll see articles by folks like Ben Cominos and myself. I publish every Monday with them. I also encourage you to visit their tap rooms if you happen to be in Madison, Wisconsin, or heading up to northern Wisconsin, Minocqua. They've got a great tap room. So much fun to hang out with like-minded folks, enjoying good beer, maybe just some woke coffee. There's also now some hop water, which is non-alcoholic, but still gets you buzzed, if you know what I'm saying. and also Joint Session, which is very good. You can go to their website, check out some of their swag, as well as all their products and where you can have it shipped. We also want to thank our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. I believe our coffee roaster will be in studio with us tomorrow. Jackie from Pride Coffee Roasters will be in. We'll talk about how she makes her coffee, because I've asked a lot of okay, Paul, do you drink coffee?
I do.
Okay. Do you have any guests I've had who are like, I'm not really, and I should ask them before I start talking about this amazing coffee. So I'll make sure you get some of the coffee from Pride Coffee Roasters. But do you make it, do you use Keurig cups? Do you use a French press, a regular, the drip?
I'll take it however.
Yeah.
Normally at home it's drip coffee, sometimes the French press, but when it's here I go through the K-cups. I'm completely wasteful. Which
I know.
It is what it is, but I will drink coffee.
Yeah,
I will definitely drink coffee.
I love coffee so much. It makes me really. Are you cream and sugar? What are you?
Black all the way.
Well, then you definitely have to have the good stuff.
Cool.
Let's get you some
absolutely,
of that. Yeah, it's good stuff. My husband makes it the night before. I mean, he not makes it. It's so funny how people misunderstand. Anyway, pridecoffeeroasters.com. Thank you to Source Solar. We're going to have Warren Price in with me when I am filling in for Edwin Eisendrath on Saturday. We'll talk more about how you need to take advantage of the incentives that will be expiring at the end of this year. But go to source.solar and learn more. And thank you to Kids Above All. Go to kidsabovall.org. Senator Dan Katowski will join us next Thursday. He's the CEO and executive director of Kids Above All. And we'll find out how they did for their backpack drive that you all supported. More in a moment on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150.
Hey, looking for a winning team on a winning station? You found it right here on WCPT 820 AM. Join the marvelous one, Dan Marver, the palacious one, Paul Shivari, Sports on the Couches, Mike Mercado, and yours truly, Devin Tingle, every Sunday at 9 p.m. for the Sports Cubicle, where the inmates run the asylum, and the boss, well, they yell at us on Monday morning because we're working overtime. Looking for your late-night dose of sports talk radio? We're here. Join us on the Sports Cubicle Sunday nights at 9 p.m.
If you're drowning in debt, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender, about a fresh start debt consolidation refinance. Today, meet Jordan, 47, project manager, married to Jackie, 43, executive assistant, combined income $260 G's a year, living in a $600,000 home with their 3 kids, called to pay off $120,000 worth of credit card debt, high interest rate consumer loans, and 2 401k loans. Team Hochberg loan officer Cindy Piazza helped Jordan and Jackie pay off their debt, eliminated their stress with the Team Hochberg Fresh Start Debt Consolidation Refinance, which saved them over $12,000 a year. Team Hochberg's helped thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That number again is 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, MLS 1124061.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we drive it home. I posted information about our show today, including the event coming up tomorrow. Oh, no, Friday. What day? Is today Wednesday? I've lost track. Today is Wednesday? Okay, then. Coming up on Friday, Democracy Ain't Dry, hosted by the Barrington Area Dems. Lindsay Prigge joins us. Lindsay, I posted information about your event, and of course, a troll had to pop up his head and go, democracy doesn't belong in America. So thank you for continuing to shine a light on what democracy is. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. Oh my gosh, the trolls are never ending. So it surprises me none that they felt the need to chime in on that. So
yeah, have you been hearing more and more of that? Because I noticed it maybe 2 or 3 years ago that this is not a democracy; it's a constitutional republic. Which I love. My friend Adam and a lot of people say that's like saying I don't drive a car; I drive a Honda.
I will say it definitely seems to be a trend that we feel the need to really break down, okay, well, it's not a democracy. We're going to give it this, this other name, this qualifier, right? Man, in today's climate, I think we've got bigger fish to fry than that. So,
yeah. I agree. I had one candidate tell me that someone that she ran into was absolutely convinced that when Republicans are in power, it's a republic, but when Democrats are in power, it's a democracy. And that might be my favorite thing I've ever heard in my entire life. They boiled it down to that.
That is definitely a new one for me, but it explains some things, so I'll keep that one in my back pocket.
Exactly. So tell us about the Barrington Area Dems. How are you folks doing with the most recent elections? Because we talked to a lot of organizations throughout the state, and we love knowing what kind of progress you're making, the inroads you've made over the years.
Absolutely. So Barrington Area Dems started out with Bob Steffen, who's actually the committee man for Barrington Township. And that was back in 2016, 2015. And we really took off and started to grow after the 2023 local municipal election. Out here, we saw a large amount of candidates who were running for office who had very conservative, very far-right platforms. And every single seat in our school board, our library board, our village boards were contested, which for a municipal cycle is fairly uncommon. And so all of our elections since then have been following that trend.
That's
With
right.
this past election, the trend of they're all contested. Our local seats here, we aren't having a problem finding people who want to run for our school board, library board, our township boards. And so it has definitely helped fuel the drive out here, flipping it from red to blue. It had been slower going, but I think it's definitely picking up. Just this last spring, we actually flipped the entire Barrington Township board from Republican-held seats to Democrats. So that was a big win for us. And I think one of the other things for me personally, and I know a lot of our volunteers in our organization, is the amount of voter turnout. So historically, municipal cycles, super low turnout. We saw about 16, 17% in there for suburban Cook County this last cycle. And in Barrington Township, we actually averaged about 27%. And so seeing all of the hard work of knocking on the doors, connecting with our voters, is really paying off for our local Democratic candidates, and we are super excited heading into 2026.
That's amazing. It really, and here's the thing: when you're in an area like Barrington, the door to door can be challenging, right? With the distance between some of the houses, like in Chicago, it's like 10 feet to the next door. Really, is what it feels like. So you've got to be creative.
Absolutely, we have everything from Barrington Hills, which has like a 5-acre minimum in their lot sizes.
Wow.
And if you're a candidate and you're running out here, you really need a volunteer who's like, hey, I'll drive you around so that you can hop out, run up to the house, go see if they're home, talk to them, jump back in and drive down the road. So we have everything from that to walkable spaces in the village. In our South Barrington communities, we have a lot of gated communities. And so if you are not really plugged in with your community and know voters who live in those spaces, it is impossible to get in and knock doors. And you have to really work hard to make those connections to do that kind of canvassing out here. It is a different beast for sure.
Yeah, we were in Wisconsin a lot the last few, like for Crawford, for that judicial race, and for obviously the presidential and other races. But I was like, no one needs to be a hero walking these roads. You need a wheelman essentially for a lot of those spaces. So that's it gets it done.
It really does, and there are some creative ways to go about reaching people there. So we do a lot of postcarding events. We do some text messaging campaigns where we really focus on, let's not blast every single person, because I think I can say this with confidence, towards the end of approaching Election Day 2024, all of our phones were just bombarded with fundraising, have you voted, go vote, amplify this. And it was overwhelming. And so we really try not to spam our membership out here. And our Democratic friends, our independent friends, our voters, and really try to have a targeted ground game based upon those geographical challenges.
Yeah, no doubt. And tell me, what are you hearing from folks in your communities? I mean, obviously the people that you've been working with were disappointed with the election results, are frustrated, outraged with what's happened since. But are you getting new people showing up because things have turned so dramatically and catastrophically in some instances?
We really are. We are seeing more people reach out to us and say, hey, I want to get involved. I want to volunteer. What can I do? We are seeing tremendous growth. Barrington just launched the Indivisible Barrington chapter at the beginning of this year, and they are on their way to 400 members. And
nice.
In that short amount of time, and we are seeing growth in organizations here that are really trying to do the work and fight back about the things that the Trump administration is doing to dismantle democracy. And we still here in the 52nd district and in our 26th state Senate district have Republican leadership. And haven't heard a whole lot from them for most of the years past. And so we're really excited with the slate of candidates running for 51 and for 52. And right now we've got the phenomenal Nabila Syed for State Senate 26 announced on the Democratic side. And I don't believe that there have been any other chatter. We haven't heard of anybody else who has been considering that. So I think we are, once petitions are filed and it's Nabila, we are ready to really hit the ground running for her.
I agree. She's amazing. I need to take a break. Do you mind hanging out for another segment so we can find out more about the event you have coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. We're talking to Lindsay Prigge, president of the Barrington Area Democrats. I want to thank all of our listeners who are nudging me and telling me it is Thursday, even though Paul Shivari gave me the...
I told you it was Thursday.
It's Thursday. Oh, I thought you agreed that it was Wednesday.
No, I did not agree with you.
So tired. All right, let's reset everybody, because the event is tomorrow, Friday, and we want you to know about Democracy Ain't Dry. You can go to barringtonareadems.org and learn more about their event, and we'll come right back and talk to the president of the Barrington Area Dems after this on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight, a low temperature of 66 degrees with northeast winds at 5 to 10. Areas of fog early Friday, otherwise sunny with a high temperature in the upper 70s and northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, sunshine with a chance of an isolated shower early in the day and a high of 82. Sunday, sunny, high of 74. Monday, sunshine and a high near 70. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 75.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Think Theory Radio.
Dr. Hande Ozdinler, she is a neuroscientist, but also an artist.
It seems that the larger we go, like, the galaxy, the sky, and then also as small as we go, right? The nanostructures, the atomic interactions or cellular interactions, there is so much resemblance, like there is a secret or there is an unspoken symmetry.
Think Theory Radio with Damian Perdue. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WCPT 820.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez, where progressive talk fuels the ride.
We are talking to Lindsay Prigge, the president of the Barrington Area Democrats. They have an event tomorrow night. It's their Democracy Ain't Dry event. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect at this wonderful, festive event.
No, we are very excited to do something a little bit different. So one of the things when we started thinking about this upcoming election, we knew that there were going to be a lot of candidates running, and we were probably going to see a lot of primaries because of where we are. So Barrington Area Dems is a little unique in that we span a very large portion of our area because we really focus on our school district bounds and sort of within that and our library district. And so we actually have the 9th congressional running over the top, the 5th in the middle, and then the 8th congressional running across the bottom.
Wow.
And that's just the congressional seats. And I know you know how crowded the 9th and the 8th are. I have a spreadsheet because otherwise I don't think I could keep track. So what we said is, hey, you know, a lot of people felt that with Kamala in 2024, or maybe not a lot of people, but we definitely heard feedback, the Democratic Party, that people didn't feel that they got to choose her. And I think we saw that in 2016 as well with Hillary Clinton, that people felt that the party kind of made the choice. And so we very actively, as the group out here, said, we want to give all of the candidates a platform in which to meet voters, use their voice, get their message out as often and as many times as we can in that primary cycle, and let our voters, without our thumb on the scale, make that choice at the polls. And so we said, all right, let's have an event and let's invite everybody. If they touch this district area from the top of the ticket all the way down to our local, county seats, let's invite them. And we have a phenomenal amount of candidates coming. So the venue is actually Hideaway Brew Garden. It's out at the very bottom of our Barrington Township district in Hoffman Estates, right by the Now Arena. And if you've been there, it's this outdoor music venue. Sometimes they have music. They also do other fun themed events, like there was a Taylor Swift sing-along. I think there's some sort of dog theme events like on Saturday that I keep seeing pop up. I'm like, how many days in a row can I go there? And so we were like, okay, we want to do something fun, something exciting, something that is longer than just a 2-hour sort of cocktail event where everybody stands around, mingles for a little bit, listens to people talk a little bit more, and leave. And so arrival time is about 6:30. We are going to have our keynote, the amazing Speaker of the House, Mr. Chris Welch, kick us off at 7 p.m. And then the Barrington, myself, so a few people from the Barrington board and our events team are going to do 1-minute personalized quick pitch candidate intros of every candidate in attendance.
Wow.
And the idea is to rapid fire them off. We want to highlight the key parts of their biography, their background, of their platform, and really, there's so many people, and I don't want the Democratic primary to pull us apart. We need to keep it together through this positively and come through this so that we can be strong heading into 2026. And so we're highlighting the best of it all. And afterwards, there will be more time for people to actually talk to one another instead of being talked to. Yeah. And ask the candidates those questions, network, and at 8 p.m., Mr. Blotto will be live on stage at the Hideaway Brew Garden. So everybody can just stay and hang out, have a night together, be in community with one another. We need that so much right now with how, you talk about like, hey, what have these people been saying or feeling? Dude, we're scared looking at what is coming out of Washington. And, we got work to do here. And so having that time together in community and being able to be near other like-minded people who are uplifting, encouraging is really, it's going to be great. And so I'm excited to take the energy from tomorrow night and have that fuel us through this election cycle.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, with so many primaries, so many opens, and the primaries, there's open seats, which is a pretty unique situation when you have Durbin's seat, Schakowsky's seat. I mean, so many of these, so many moving pieces too, because in a lot of areas. Do you have any state reps? I know that you mentioned you have Republicans in several of these seats, but do you have any state reps or anybody that has moved, is running for higher office and is not running for re-election?
Yes. So Nabila Syed is currently the state rep for District 51, which is actually my district. She's my rep. I love her. And with her moving to running for State Senate seat 26, that makes her seat open in the 51st. So there are 2 Democratic candidates who have announced so far, Jenny Levan and Andrew Nomowitz, both of who will be at our event tomorrow night. And so anybody in the area who wants to come meet them, they will both be there. And so the person who's actually running on the Republican ticket is Tassi Ufudike, who ran against Nabila last cycle. So we kind of have an idea. She's given it another go. She also tried to retain her seat on the Eula Township Board after she lost the November election, and she missed that by 3 votes. Wow. So interesting to see if she has another ground game coming up. But I'm not even worried about that. I'm really excited to hear more from Jenny and Andrew and their platforms and what things that they're championing, because they've got some big shoes to fill with Nabila Syed working on moving up. So.
What do you find to be the most, well, we're in a unique situation right now, right? I mean, none of us in our lifetimes have seen these kinds of moves towards authoritarianism as we are seeing federally. And as you guys mentioned in your social media, the Republicans at the state fair pledge allegiance to Trump and not to Illinoisans, which I think is a brilliant point to make. What are your plans for sustaining the energy? I mean, because there's a lot of burnout. Even because I can't remember what day it is, one of my listeners very accurately said, I mean, these are heavy times, and it can be exhausting. It's more of a relay race than a marathon or a sprint. We kind of have to support each other and give that baton to somebody else until we're ready to keep running. Don't you think? A little bit?
Absolutely, for sure. And that is actually something that we have actively talked about in our area. For example, with the rallies and the protests. we have a group. So in Barrington, we started out, we joined GPAD, or Greater Palatine Area Dems, and we're hanging out at the Clock Tower in Palatine, rallying together. And then we started rallying here in Barrington over the last few national calls to gather. And even just that process of the organizing, reaching out, the moving pieces, where do you have it? Who do we try to get to come and give us a great speech to launch? And at the very beginning, we said, let's organize together a few groups, and we will co-promote, we will co-sponsor, we will co-take on the work, but we're going to rotate which group takes the lead in planning so that we don't burn out.
Yeah.
And that we can keep this momentum going. And so I really think that sort of collaboration and having people who are like, okay, you need a break. You need that space, that time, because things are so heavy. And really, also for us locally, one of the things that we talk about is you can't drink the whole ocean. And so, yes, there's a ton happening at the federal level. And there are things that we can do, calling our reps, doing the protests, filling out witness slips when we can, when our state legislatures in session for those bills that matter to us, or those bills where we're like, what were they thinking? No. I'm going to, do not vote for this, right? Do not put that out to talk about. And so really taking our energy and focusing from the ground up. So let's change what we can here. Let's support each other. Let's do food drives at our rallies so that we can do those mutual aid and give back into our local communities. What can we do together? We have a group that has many of our fellow Democrats in the area in it as well. And our entire goal is to give back the way that they did, if you've read the book, The Serviceberry.
I have not. But
so my dear friend, it's so good. My dear friend Diane gave it to me for my birthday. And the entire idea is that we've kind of moved away from this sharing of our resources and really living in community. And the biggest takeaway from that was a gentleman in conversation in sort of haiku type poem. I don't know if it was based upon a real one, but, it was a hunter, and the person said, where do you store all of your meat over the winter? And he turned and he said, I store it in the bellies of my neighbors.
Oh.
And yes, right? Just that is what we need.
Yeah.
And so bringing that into the work that we do through Barrington Area Dems or through all of the other organizations that all of our membership cross over, there's so many things that we're not just doing Democratic work and trying to elect Dems and do that. So many of us go out and do so much other volunteer work, and we really bring that back together, and we try to bring that into the things that we do too. So.
Outstanding. Really great work. I want to have you on soon whenever your schedule allows to keep us up to date on what's going on in Barrington. For folks who want to learn more, not just about tomorrow's event, Democracy Ain't Dry, which will be from 6:30 to 10:30 at the Hideaway Brew Garden in Hoffman Estates. You can find out more about everything, all the work that's going on, how you can volunteer, get involved. As our guest mentioned, you can, Lindsay mentioned, you can get involved in so many different ways. I talk about door knocking a lot. You don't have to knock on doors if it's not your thing. You write postcards. You can be a part of helping out the food pantry, all the things. BarringtonAreaDems.org. Excellent work. Thank you so much for everything you do, and please don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything we can do.
Absolutely. Thanks again so much, Patty.
Absolutely. Take care. Let's take a break.
You too.
Thank you. Let's take a break. Here, we'll open up the phone lines, the Credo Mobile phone and text line, 773-763-9278. Go out and support the work they're doing in Barrington, folks. And I want to hear from you tonight, too. More after this on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150.
Tesla Inc. currently has the following job openings in Elgin, Illinois. Manufacturing Controls Development Engineer, ELG 300522. Provide manufacturing controls development support by designing and developing new automation equipment and assembly lines. Requires domestic travel up to 50% and international travel up to 10% in order to commission new production equipment and support existing equipment. $113,300 per year. Also, Senior Manufacturing Controls Development Engineer, ELG 291796. Provide manufacturing controls development support by designing and developing new automation equipment and assembly lines. Requires domestic travel up to 50% and international travel up to 10% in order to commission new production equipment and support existing equipment. $143,505 per year. Multiple positions available. To apply, please email apply@tesla.com and indicate the job code in the subject line. 1 email per job code. Tesla is an equal opportunity affirmative action employer committed to diversity in the workplace. All qualified applicants will receive consideration for employment without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, age, national origin, disability, protected veteran status, gender identity, or any other factor protected by applicable federal, state, or local laws. Tesla is also committed to working with and providing reasonable accommodations to individuals with disabilities. Please let your recruiter know if you need an accommodation at any point during the interview process. Once again, the job code for the Manufacturing Controls Development Engineer is ELG 300522, and the job code for the Senior Manufacturing Controls Development Engineer is ELG 291796.
WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter.
Chicago continues to lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversity Beer, Wine, and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine, and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly. And, folks, our Pride Coffee Roasters are going to be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this Sunday. So they'll be in studio tomorrow to tell you more about their incredible coffee beans. And you can follow along to see where they'll be next at PrideCoffeeRoasters.com or on all of their socials. It's Pride Coffee Roasters.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
We need to speak out about this.
At 773-763-9278.
Hello, hello.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Before we get to our first phone call, and the Credo Mobile phone and text lines are available to you, 773-763-9278. Credo Mobile, better for the planet and for people. And for a limited time, WCPT listeners get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. And we're very excited to have him as a sponsor. Paul, before I continue our conversation, a question has been posed by the friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Do you prefer your beans to be whole or ground?
Whole, probably.
Whole beans.
Thank you.
Got your whole beans coming.
Whole
apparently.
beans, yeah.
They heard.
We got the grinder and
Get that all done.
Do it all.
Isn't it the best is to have it just like little by little? I don't even do a whole bag. I do a quarter bag.
Yeah, just a little at a time because it goes stale if you grind it up.
I mean, this is the thing. These are the things with the beans.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks so much. To the Jim. Jim, what's on your mind, my friend?
JD Vance, I wish he's going to have to change the first two initials to DJ Vance because he's going to open a disco with Peter Thiel and Musk, the apartheid disco, Caucasians only. Now, he went down to Washington, D.C. He was booed out of Union Station. Did you see that? Booed out of the Union Station. And then he has enough nerve to go down to Georgia. They've got a fixation on Georgia, trying to get 11,000 votes on the phone. I mean, you can imagine a president of the United States going on a public telephone and asking for 11,000 votes in another state and getting away with it. Anyway,
can you imagine? He's taken 8 vacations in 7 months. 8.
Well, anyway, but he's made. How much has he made? He's made $4 billion. I understand.
Oh my God.
So he's not taking a vacation from money. That's for sure.
That's right.
No, he's never taken a vacation from that. But this guy is so tone deaf that he couldn't get elected the dog catcher. And without Peter Thiel's money, he couldn't even. I don't know how he could get into politics. But the Republicans really don't have a candidate. That's the only reason that they're got any favor at all, and the reason they're so behind this nut is because he had that television program, and he had that that stupid apprentice, and he always had him in publicity stunts. But remember, the people who ran against him in 2016, none of those people could have been elected, Patty. None of them. And J.D. Vance couldn't be elected in a straight election. There's no way. So they got to. This guy can only live. He'll be 85 years old or whatever the hell he'll be. He'll be the oldest son of a gun west of the Pecos. He's the oldest president in history now in office. And think about it, Patty. You did a marvelous job in Wisconsin, all right? You wrangled that Supreme Court judge. Look at the money spent in that race. I don't know. It was tons and tons and tons of money.
$25 million, I believe, is how much.
Right. Yeah. But it shows you that you can't buy the United States of America. There's too many sacrifices. We sacrifice too much blood and treasure and people, wonderful people we've had in the United States, they can't buy it. They think they can buy it, but they can't buy it, Patty. And anyway, thanks for taking my call, Patty. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. I mean, I don't know. They seem to be doing a pretty good job of buying with. I was thinking about this today. I was out for a walk, and the amount of money that we talk about this a lot, the amount of money that billionaires pour into media in order to avoid being taxed more. One of the things that Ronald Reagan had run on was being able to make sure that rich people, no, he didn't run on it. I mean, one of the things that I believe put a lot of money into his coffers was the fact that so many rich people wanted to be able to keep more of their wealth. And I'll never understand. I know Dwayne Kennedy and I have talked about this a lot. We talk about it a lot on the station, but the desire, I'll never understand when is enough. When do you have enough money? When do you have enough houses? When do you have enough yachts and all the pretty jewelry and all the nice clothes, the tailored? I don't know what happens in a person's brain. Were they always like that? We know that there are billionaires who either inherit or earn it in whatever way that do good things, right? But it just seems like so much of what's happening in our politics has been because of Uline, because of the Koch brothers, the Heritage Foundation, the Federalist Society, what Jim just mentioned about J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel. It's just hard, and I get it that we were successful in Wisconsin, and I think it's part of what makes perhaps the Democratic Party a little more scattered is the fact that so many do take a lot of that money because you feel like, well, if they're doing it, I have to do it, right? This is that fire with fire. If the Republicans are going to take millions of dollars and from special interests, well, I've got to do it so that I can be in office and do the right things, but maybe I'll vote the way these millionaires and billionaires want me to. And then you do have the Bernies and the AOCs and people who want to raise money from individuals in a grassroots way as much as possible. Dave, all right, I have a quick question for you, Dave. Do you want 2 minutes, or do you want me to wait? Do you want to wait till after the news, and I can grab you after the news?
Let's do two.
Let's do two. We'll play two.
Yeah.
What's on your mind,
I'm used to it. With you, I'm used to it.
I gave you a choice. Okay, wait. Before you know what?
Anyway,
Dave, wait. Before
that's what we're wasting time.
No. I'm going to give you after the news. I have to ask you guys something. Can I ask you guys? So you're gonna. I'm gonna hold you over as a listener. Paul,
I did warn him that you might carry him to the other
side.
Yeah,
so Paul and Dave and everyone listening, were you listening to Tom Hartman today?
Oh, I missed it.
The one when he got kind of silenced by that guy with the...
Oh, my... I mean, that guy was so salty. He had on this writer who had done all this work on Epstein and Trump, right? And all these photographs with girls, Paul. I was like... It was on in the background because I was working. But I hear this guest say, did you even read what I wrote? Why are you asking me these questions? And I was just like... Yeah. It's like, dude, either do the interview or don't do the interview. If you don't like that's part of the deal, man. What did you think, Dave, about that moment?
I was kind of a little bit surprised that if he was that ill-informed that he didn't do any kind of background reading.
I just feel like, here's the thing. As a guest, Then don't do the show, because as a listener mentioned, I guarantee you that is not the first time that writer has responded to an interviewer. It doesn't just come out of the blue. I mean, whether or not Tom Hartman had done the research, it's just like, dude, do the interview, don't do the interview. That was my take listening to that.
Yeah. I'll
tell you, the producers here wish I would show up and do some pre-show.
Did you catch what the guy's name was by chance?
So was it like Wolf or something like that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Mike Wolf?
An expert, and I'm wondering if it's the same guy.
The Wolf anyway. The last name was Wolf. Correct?
It was. I have not. I was laughing. I mean, I feel bad. Tom handled it great, but I was laughing so hard.
And the only other time I heard him speechless was his buddy from L.A., that Larry. That time when Hartman had said, like, what about with Biden, when he said I was going to be transitional, president, pretty young and that, and this Larry got all kind of like Clarence Thomas that time, very irate about the fact that that wasn't what he said, and that's exactly what Trump said, or not Trump, but Biden said.
Oh man, too funny. Well, at any rate, I thought that if anyone heard that exchange, you did. So now you have to wait until the next segment. Dave, hang on, we'll get to you after the news, my friend.
Okay, all right.
Let's take a break here. We'll be back with our call 773-763-9278. More in a moment on WCPT 820 and KKW 1150.
Ready to step up your style? Do it in a Porsche. Own the road with power and performance. And find yours at the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park. Our tariff-free vehicles are available for immediate delivery, like the 2025 Porsche Cayenne. And right now, lease the 2025 Macan Electric for only $949 a month for 39 months. Don't miss out on the $7,500 EV tax credit and grab your electric Porsche today at the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park or PorscheExchange.com. $4,929 to its sign excludes tax, title, license, and doc fee. No security deposit required. Expires 9/2/25.
Allstate's new home insurance is now better than ever. We're making getting the right home insurance that's right for you super easy with our improved online quoting tool. It explains how each coverage option works for you without the headache. Yep, you can start protecting your home in a matter of minutes. So check Allstate first for home insurance that's better than ever. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Coverage subject to terms, qualifications, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The president of Villanova University says the report of a shooter on campus was a cruel hoax. Peter Donahue in a statement saying there was no active shooter, no injuries, and no evidence of firearms on campus. Elsewhere, the NFL stepping up security. Gethin Coolbaugh reports it follows
a shooting last month at a Manhattan building by a gunman authorities say was targeting league headquarters. The league previously recommended enhanced security measures at team and league facilities. They will be reviewed at a special league meeting on August 26th. NFL employees are back in their offices after working remotely in the weeks following the shooting that killed 4 people and injured a league employee. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
President Trump's declaring victory after an appeals court threw out a massive civil fraud penalty against him, but it upheld other punishments, including banning Trump and his 2 eldest sons from corporate leadership. And Hai Panchwani has another legal ruling going the president's way.
The Supreme Court is letting the Trump administration cut hundreds of millions of dollars in research funding to slash DEI efforts. The High Court majority lifted a judge's order blocking $783 million worth of cuts made by the National Institutes of Health to align with Republican President Donald Trump's priorities. The court split 5-4 on the decision. Chief Justice John Roberts was among those who would have kept the cuts blocked, along with the court's 3 liberals. The order marks the latest Supreme Court win for Trump and allows the administration to move ahead with canceling hundreds of grants while the lawsuit continues to unfold. The plaintiffs, including states and public health advocacy groups, argue that the cuts will inflict incalculable losses in public health and human life. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
Federal authorities have set up checkpoints around the nation's capital, asking people about their immigration status and detaining them. And Hurricane Aaron's churning up big waves along the northeast coast as it moves out into the Atlantic. This is AP News. Police in Florida are still investigating the death of wrestling icon Hulk Hogan. Ed Donahue has the latest.
Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, died last month of what the medical examiner said was a heart attack.
Police in Clearwater, Florida, say the Hogan case is unique and has required them to interview multiple witnesses and seek medical records from a variety of providers. Hogan was 71. Paramedics and police rushed to his beachfront home following a 911 call. That call and police body camera video of the scene have not been released. A police statement said all of this takes time. Police have previously said there was no evidence of foul play. Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke, said on Instagram earlier this month his cremation was postponed because of family questions and mentioned paying for an autopsy, saying his dignity and legacy deserves it. I'm Ed Donahue.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight, a low temperature of 66 degrees with northeast winds at 5 to 10. Areas of fog early Friday, otherwise sunny with a high temperature in the upper 70s and northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, sunshine with a chance of an isolated shower early in the day and a high of 82. Sunday, sunny, high of 74. Monday, sunshine and a high near 70. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 75.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is often laced into illicit drugs and used to make fake versions of prescription pills. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Suppliers mix fentanyl into their products because it's potent and cheap, and the dealer might not even know. Keep yourself and others safe by knowing the real deal on fentanyl. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Oh, with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you listening later in the evening on KKNW 1150 in Seattle, the alternative talk of Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, we're so glad to have you join us. And we've been talking to our listeners, and I had a listener on hold, and I'm going to put him on right away and get to all of the business in a moment because Dave from Hoffman Estates has been on hold patiently. See, I got right to you, Dave. What's on your mind, my friend?
Yeah, I was talking there with Paul, telling him that story yesterday, whatever, about where that truck driver in Florida with that illegal U-turn, and that he killed, 3 people got killed, and apparently he got issued a CDL in Washington State, and if everything is correct, they said that he failed the English road test, only answered 2 questions correctly, and I first heard about this last night from my friend that used to work and live here, but he's moved now down to North Carolina. And he's saying that I guess that they're pulling all of those trucks over because, according to him, he said, and that I guess they said that the man was an illegal immigrant.
That at least definitely what the White House is saying.
Okay, well, that's what, he was saying. He's living
from
down
India.
south now,
By the way,
too.
for folks are what he's from India, right?
Yeah, and I told my buddy last night, I said, geez, that sounds similar to like before 9/11 when they just wanted to know how to fly a plane. They didn't care about landing or taking off, But, and sadly, 3 people had to pay for this, He thought they were kids, but from what I've seen, they were adults. But, I mean, that don't make their deaths any less,
Well, they're highlighting the fact that he did get licenses in, I believe, 2 states, and that's something they're obviously going to make a big deal out of as well. But it is tragic. Yeah. It's absolutely tragic.
But Anywho, that was the only thing I was really going to cover on that. So others can get their turn in too. But that's just yeah. Thanks, Patty. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. You
Good
too.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.
As you heard on the news update, Supreme Court Justice John Roberts has sided with the liberals on the court in a decision about this is where they wanted to slash hundreds of millions of dollars in federal research funding, right? They wanted to roll back because they wanted to go after programs that elevated or had priorities of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it was a 5-4 decision against rolling those funding blocks back, right? In other words, Chief Justice Roberts wanted them to be able to have access to that funding. It's research, it's medical research, it's life-saving research, and it's $783 million in cuts that were made by NIH, the National Institute of Health. And it's interesting that, and I don't know how these things work sometimes. I know that there are instances where justices will whip votes, meaning they'll have conversations with other judges and say, hey, not for nothing, but I would really like you to go this way on this vote. And I wonder if he's trying to send a signal to the other justices. But at any rate, it's obviously a victory for Donald Trump because they can then continue to cancel hundreds of existing grants while this bigger lawsuit continues in the lower courts. So it's just a shame that there are so many people that are going to suffer as a result. This is research. This is development. This is a lot of agencies that do a lot of the work when it comes to cancer research. It comes to all the things that we rely on for our healthcare in the sense of progress. Right? When you find out that somebody has a life-threatening disease or injury, you want to know that scientific research funding is supporting the kind of work that might save you or someone that you love. But God forbid that an organization that does that kind of research makes sure that they are casting a wide net, meaning that they aren't picking people that look exactly like the people who had been there for decades prior. I just get so tired of these conversations that the most successful person should be there. There are successful people that often are overlooked because they don't fit the criteria of gender or skin color. It just happens. Disability, all these different elements play a role. So it's just a shame that the Supreme Court has decided to cause a lot of harm in scientific research and development. I do want to make sure that we thank our sponsors for highlighting stories like that. Thank you to our sponsors, Minocqua Brewing Company. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com and maybe place an order for some woke coffee and maybe pick up a cool shirt. They have constant updates on their designs for shirts. So if you go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com and you've seen some of their stuff, go back again and see what kind of great swag they have because Kirk is always coming up with some new ideas and we're so thrilled to partner with them on so many different projects. Look, I know that Kirk can be impetuous, I think is the way to put it. Both he and I often lack impulse controls when it comes to our passions, our rage. And what's happening right now is bound to set some people off. And I'm grateful for the folks who get it. This whole idea, somebody messaged yesterday, I was on with Congresswoman Marie Newman on her Substack, and I was talking about I'm done playing nice. This whole idea that we can still win some of the Republicans back or some of the conservatives, or there are people that want to leave MAGA. I know Richard Chu has had these conversations, and they were, some of the folks who have left MAGA say that they wish that we were nicer to them, and I don't. For all the horrible things that I say, okay, there's a little bit of name calling going on, and I'm really worried about saying this, Paul, because I think I'm going to get it right, but someone called me a Cupid stunt online. Yeah, now spell that out and flip the S and the C, and I was I was like, wow. I mean, they're really, that's flying under the radar is all I'm saying. But the things that I see, and so why? I mean, we're trying to convince them. Like, if you can't find that you're a horrible person and that maybe you should set that straight, I don't know why I have to. I'll if you do the work, sure, I'm grateful for that. But why do I got to be nice?
Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that.
Right?
Someone has the audacity to call you. How can you even reach them? Yeah.
Every week. For a little while, it was every single day. But at any rate, I get where folks are coming from, that we're not going to win people over by name calling. I just don't. I guess the goal of MAGA is not to win us over, although that does seem to be the point of the rallies, right? Is to grow the base. They say all these hateful things and they grow their base, and we share facts and people snore, I guess.
Yeah, I was saying on your show the other day that I think a lot of people just aren't paying attention to what's out there, and that's why we're in this mess to begin with. Because you get people that are lazily saying, well, the Democrats do it too.
No,
no, I don't think they do at all.
No.
I think, while yes, from a government level, there might be certain promises made that aren't kept from both sides, but I think there's a distinct difference right now between the two parties, and everyone, regardless of how they feel, should pick a side.
Yeah. Well, and I think for the people who don't pay attention, then, when they see someone say Democrats were the ones that owned slaves, right? And if they just Google, did Democrats own slaves? Were they the ones defending slavery? They're going to find that's true. But then if you don't do the research on what happened historically, and really for me, it comes down to being liberal or conservative. And I would say every day of the week and twice on Sunday that Abraham Lincoln was a liberal.
Yeah, well, this is the same party that says they're the party of Lincoln, but they never say they're the party of Nixon or the party of Warren G. Harding. What have you.
Hoover, little Hoover in there.
Hoover, yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, none of those.
So, if we want to go back that far and reach that far back, let's talk about everything that's happened in the 160 years.
And the Republican Party was a baby party when Abraham Lincoln ran as a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
He ran as a Whig, but he was fighting against something. Look, if it is their point that Democrats were the ones that wanted slavery, that it was the KKK, then do me a favor. Then burn all the Confederate flags as the flag of the Democrats. Take down all the statues of the Democrats who were traitors to this country in the Confederate Army and the Confederate government. Take them all down. But no, once we do that, then there's protests, and a woman gets hit by a car in a rally, and they want to legalize killing protesters with vehicles because that was a good idea. When David Duke says that Trump makes sense and he likes his policies, you are with the Klan. I don't know what to tell you. You're not Klan adjacent. You just haven't washed your sheets lately to wear them outside. Sorry,
I think the Klan has been very upfront about which party they support these days.
Yeah,
that and Strom Thurmond jumped parties suspiciously around the 60s, so I think that should tell you something right there.
Exactly. The Southern strategy, folks. I can't do these. I can't do that. I'm not going to do it. I have charts. I have to have a slideshow. I have to do a whole thing. I don't have time. At any rate, thank you to Minocqua Brewing Company for making that segment of the show possible. Thank you to Pride Coffee Roasters. They'll be joining us in studio. Jackie will be in studio with us tomorrow, apparently bringing Paul a bag of freshly roasted beans, as we should all have freshly roasted beans from Pride Coffee Roasters. If you live in the Chicagoland area, you can pick up some this Sunday at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market. We will be there from 9:30 to 1:30. I will be there this Sunday. Very excited to see everybody. I make some of the best dinners with the food I get from the Jefferson Park Sunday Market. Whether it's there's a rancher. We have Finn's Ranch, so I get the best brats and ground chicken. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry right now.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh my God, it's so good. So good. Best coffee beans, best produce. That's this Sunday at the Jefferson Park over by Lawrence and Long by the Jefferson Park Library and Post Office. We also want to thank go to pridecoffeeroasters.com to find out what other markets they'll be at. You can also follow them on their socials. We want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Warren Price will join me on Saturday when I fill in for Edwin Eisendrath. We'll be talking in the 4 o'clock hour. In the 3 o'clock hour, because if it's 4, I'm in somebody else's show. He'll be on with me at 3. Dr. Kathy Tynes will also join me. But Warren and Peter from Source Solar want you to give them a call, make an appointment, see if it's time to get solar panels on your house or your business. There are incentives that are going to expire at the end of this year. You don't want to miss the opportunity to get in now and do what's best for the environment and they're both important for your pocketbook as well. So go to source.solar. And our friend Dan Katowski from Kids Above All will join us next Thursday and guest co-host with me. Oh, coming up also next week, comedian Paul Farvar will join me in studio. At any rate, go to kidsaboveall.org and support their mission to help children live happy, healthy, safe lives. We are going to take a break and continue our phone calls. And our phone calls are made possible by the Credo Mobile phone and text line from Credo Mobile. And WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com. And we're going to be right back after this with your phone calls. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to check in with YPA Reviews reviewer Mike Crowley. So stay tuned for that.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
These days, it seems like everyone is obsessed with eating as much protein as possible. And I will say this, just about every nutritionist I've talked to agrees that Americans really are probably getting more than enough protein in their diet. Look, protein is an essential macronutrient, no question. The problem is that in order to consume more protein, many people end up eating less of something else. Some research, for example, finds 90% of Americans are deficient in fiber. That is something we should increase. I talked about all this with Dr. Tim Spector, a genetic epidemiologist, on a recent episode of my podcast, Chasing Life. He says if you're looking to add more high-quality protein to your diet without making other sacrifices, try adding beans to more of your meals. Eat more whole grains, nuts, and seeds. And soy, he said, is one of the most complete proteins in the plant world. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
He's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Yes, let's hit it. We have the phone lines open. And right out of the gate, let's go to Chi-Town Dave. Hey, Dave, what's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, thank you so much. I enjoy the station. First off, I wanted to say this. We need to start fighting fire with fire with the Republicans.
Yes.
We need to get a Limbaugh-type guy on the left. I don't know how we're going to do that, but, you know, Limbaugh started all this hatred. He started all this hatred.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I was talking to one of the guys that worked on his show, and he is now involved in progressive radio. I don't want to tell you who he is, but he feels like he's paying penance now because he was part of that creation. He said they hired, so really wealthy people came up with this idea to create a radio show, right? So Rush Limbaugh had writers. He had basically marketing and branding experts, advertising guys that were writing this material that was tapping into the rage, to the misogyny, to the racism, to the the angst of I remember hearing somebody talk about how Rush Limbaugh knew how to talk. Oh, it's I think it was well, let's not go into who it was, but that he knew how to talk to working class people, and I don't agree with that. He knew how to tap into fear. Right? The fear that you might not be able to stay in your house. And whose fault would that be? It might be the black person down the street's fault, or that they moved into your neighborhood, right? Why can't you why can't you have, a dinner ready when you get home? Well, because your wife is working, or because she had an abortion. Like all those things. Those were writers. That wasn't...
What would abortion have to do with it?
They came up with that idea. Phyllis Schlafly in the 70s basically said that, abortion made women want to go out and work and feel independent and not, basically fulfill their roles as housemakers and the ones that made dinner for you when you came home. So that was all that stuff. Yep.
Well, he had a black fellow working with him. Went by the name Bo Snerdley.
That I'm not familiar with. But
you remember hearing about him?
I don't.
He was a very active supporter of Rush Limbaugh and the Limbaugh Show. And very, very active supporter.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I feel like it would need to be highly produced, very tightly written. I mean, his rants, I don't know if he had something in his ear where someone would tell him what to do next, but he had a script. It was all orchestrated in order to control the middle of America, working class people, tap into that rage. But so what kind of rage would you want to tap into? Because it can't just be right that Republicans love Trump or that Trump is terrible. What's the rage we should tap into? Is it pointing the spotlight on billionaires controlling our country and not paying fair wages and gobbling up all the small mom and pop businesses to the point where we can't compete? I mean, it's hard, right? What would be the toe-to-toe of rage?
The rage should be against racism, sexism, and the hatred of the poor that these Republicans have. They hate us. They would hate me. I'm blind. They would definitely hate my guts.
That's the thing. And, vulnerability. They hate vulnerability is what they hate. What they see is that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I want to ask you something else.
Sure.
I know you're probably an old-time Chicagoan, right?
Oh yeah, my whole life.
So am I. But the thing of it is, okay, when you're giving somebody an address, when you're telling somebody where a particular restaurant or is, and you say over by there.
Over by there. Yep.
Please don't tell me that as a blind person I need to know exactly where a place is, because I need to know an address.
Okay.
And that's the thing I wanted to say to all my old time Chicagoans out there.
Are there landmarks that you are familiar with? Like if I said over by the I don't know over by Water Tower Place, does that you know what I mean?
That would be better.
Right,
or
east of Water Place.
I'm telling you, okay, if I'm telling you where I live, I would tell you whether you would be blind or not. I would tell you the landmark to use would be the 7-Eleven store next door to my building.
Right. Sure. Yeah. And I would say over by Milwaukee and Foster. That's where our studio is. Right. Over by.
Yeah, I am familiar with, streets. I'm familiar with all that stuff because I've taken CTA. Now I also take paratransit, the dial-a-ride service that Pace offers. Our Republicans definitely don't want us to have that. That's for sure.
No, anything that helps people. Are you kidding me? Nah, that's sappy stuff. That crap.
Rick Smith was pointing this out last night. He pointed out a lot of things.
Sure. Yep. Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, please don't make this the last time you call the show. It was great hearing from you, my friend. Thank you.
I'll be calling in. I want to say hello to my fellow listeners out there.
Thank you. Be well.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye. Bye. And Paul in Seattle. If I tell you over by there, that's a little different in Seattle, isn't it? Over by.
I get it.
Over by the needle.
Dave, we're both blind. I didn't know that.
I did not put these. I did not put these calls together. Should I put you on the line together? I don't want to be like, hey, you're blind. Talk to this other blind guy. It would be weird.
Well, we'll do that another. Yeah, we'll do that another time. But that's Yeah, over by there works for me. That's fine because I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, so I would get that.
Cool.
We say things different out here. Like we say the I-5 or the 405, where you guys just say I'm on.
I'm on the Kennedy. I'm on the Dan Ryan.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, we I say that, but I want to have a pair of Chicago hot dogs and a couple of monoculars with Chi-Town Dave when I.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay, so the morbidly rich. It is time to shame them because first of all, they think they're better than we are.
Yep.
And they're the ones because they need the young white male to vote for them. They're the ones who are telling the young white males and the not so young white males. I'm talking about the generations that would be my kids and my grandkids because the young white males. I'm talking about the 20s and 30s. They're a bunch of misogynist pigs too now, and they're conveying that message to them. You're better than everybody else, and so stick with us. We're the policies that you can get angry about and talk about why nobody else deserves anything because you're the only one who works that work, right? I'm the only one who does anything at my job. Oh, you know this? You ever heard those kind of people? I'm the only one who works. Everybody else is lazy, and it's kind of like back in the 70s. Remember I told you in the beginning in the 70s because the Sunday evangelicals, the TV evangelicals, they stopped teaching the message of Jesus, and they started teaching the prosperity doctrine, right?
Yes.
And that means you got a blind. Remember Brother Copeland? He used to hold the Bible up and it was flopping over. He's going, it's a blank check. It's a blank check. Just send in all your Social Security to me, and you will quadruple your income. It's like, and in that prosperity doctrine, they were also pushing morality and saying that the other side, the liberals, are immoral people.
Yep.
And they're the ones who are stopping you from getting the prosperity that God so wants you to have. You see?
Yep.
And that's what they do. And that's how they convince people. It's the others, and Jesus never preached an other message. He never said that. So we got away from that, and that's what the morbidly rich, remember, that's what I think Tom Hartman's kind of drafting that one, or coining that one, the morbidly rich, the freakish rich, which, by the way, when you think about the TV shows, the Munsters and the Addams Family, they were the freakish rich. That was what that was about, how the rich people are kind of freaks. I mean, kind of Howard Hughes was kind of a freak, They're people who keep to themselves, and it was a metaphor for how weird they were. And that's kind of what we have, people who think they're better than we are, and that's why they deserve to run this country, and that's why we don't need a democratic process because they're better than we are, and they know what's best for us, and they will tell us what to do. And that's how they're drafting young white men to do it. They say you're better than everybody too, and that's why you can be a misogynist pig and tell women that they can't vote. They should be barefoot and pregnant at home, because all this women's lib stuff is what's ruined America. Because you got a blank check, It's like
exactly. Yep, well put, Paul.
Wait a minute, Patty. Don't be underwhelmed like Michael Wolff was on Tom Hartman today.
My God. Well, I mean,
you can tell from the time he got on when he was like talking like so low. I mean, he was intentionally talking in such a low tone that Tom had to ask him, "Could you speak up a little bit?"
Yeah, I heard that too. That's right.
A complete punt, and he's even chastising Tom about do your homework while Tom is thanking him at the end of the video, and the playing out music is coming on. He's even do your homework next time. Why don't you?
It was
I will
so
never
funny.
read one of his books. Yep, and I would never recommend anybody read one of his books. So
it was so weird. Again, like I said, either do an interview or don't do an interview, but don't not do the interview. Meaning, he showed up.
Be gracious for crying out. Exactly. Be gracious, because all you have is your reputation. And I've heard of the guy before, but I've never read any of his stuff. But now the only thing I have about him is he's a creep. I wouldn't need him. I wouldn't want to read anything.
Super creepy. Yep. Very strange. But I will say this, Paul, it did make me laugh because it was just so absurd.
Go Chi-Town Dave. Go Chi-Town Dave.
Go Seattle Paul. Talk to you later, my friend.
Okay.
Take care. When we come back, we're going to have Mike Crowley in studio, the reviewer for YPAReviews.com. Go to YPAReviews.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight, a low temperature of 66 degrees with northeast winds at 5 to 10. Areas of fog early Friday, otherwise sunny with a high temperature in the upper 70s and northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, sunshine with a chance of an isolated shower early in the day and a high of 82. Sunday, sunny, high of 74. Monday, sunshine and a high near 70. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 75.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at EasterSeals.com.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at EasterSeals.com.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Patti Vasquez, we appreciate all our fans of Driving It Home, and your support of show sponsor Minocqua Brewing Company ensures that our important conversations continue right here on WCPT each weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. You can now find the Resistance IPA, Labor Lager, or the Resistance Pilsner beer at several Illinois locations, including Arminetti Wine and Spirits in Woodstock, Pineapple and Company in North Riverside, Lyons Beverage Depot in Arlington Heights, and MP's Liquor, Wine and Beer in North Aurora. For a full list of Chicagoland locations, please visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. As always, please vote and drink responsibly.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we drive it home. I am super excited to welcome our movie reviewer, our official movie reviewer of the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez show. We also appreciate our friend Matt Fagerholm, but he's been busy on other projects.
Yeah, he's working on something. I don't know if I can talk about what he's working on.
He won't. He'll never tell me. He won't. Yeah. He knows that I should not know. Yeah. Mike Crowley messaged me last week and said, "Hey, are you going to the Fan Con?" Which I used to go to a lot of those conventions, especially when the boys were little. Yeah. And when I was at another station, they would give me passes, and I have so many great photos of Griffin, at Doctor Who, as Robin, Declan. I mean, we all dressed up, and I was Wonder Woman, I was Batgirl. I actually have a picture of Michael Rooker pulling my hair as Batgirl. And so you asked if I was going because you wanted to interview Mike Rooker. Yeah. So how did the interview go?
It was interesting. There's 2 places you can check it out, 1 or 3 places. But the one that gave me the most hits is TikTok, and that got me almost 9,000 views or something like that. And
he's a character, man.
Yeah, it was funny because you gave. I don't know if I should disclose how I got in touch with him or not.
Sure, no, okay. He was on the show, so I have his. People know I have his number. Absolutely, yeah.
So he gave me his number, and I was like, should I text him? I don't know. So I'm like, okay. I sent him a text. I'm like, he's not going to get back to me. He calls me. We talk for 8 minutes. and he's like, he wanted to do this scene. He's like, I want to do the scene where I'm walking into the convention and like he doesn't know where he is.
Yes.
And like
so it's a whole bit. That whole thing is a bit. Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to come
Where am I?
in.
Who are you? Yeah. He's doing it the whole time. Yes.
Yeah. The whole thing was like I was going to come in doing my social media video while he's doing his, and I was going to be like, I'm a big deal. What are you talking about? And like when I get there. Like, I don't know where he is. Because he said he wasn't going to be there that day. And then he was there. He's like, oh, I'll be there the next day. And then he texts me. He's like, I'm here. And then he, like, sent me, like, a voice message where he's like, are you a cop? What, are you an effing cop? Where are you? It was weird. And then he, like, I sent him a text back. I'm like, did you send this by accident? He deleted it. And then he sent me a text and he's like, I'll be in the Starbucks. If you see me, great. If not, F you. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, my God.
I was like, whatever. Like, I vibe with a lot of people, so it didn't, like, bother me. So I get there. He's doing the scene. And, like, he doesn't even prep me that he's about to do the scene. So I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing the scene. So I just, like, did the scene with him. And then I did an interview where he, like, pretended like he knew nothing of what I was talking about.
Oh, that's so difficult. I get that. I love that you played along.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, the guy's been in movies for over 40 years.
Yeah.
He's one of the great character actors, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And I met him 10 years ago, and and he's been traveling a lot. He spent a lot of time in Korea. He's been shooting a movie. I think he's trying to have fun in the twilight years, my friend.
Yeah.
So did you end up getting to interview him?
I did.
Like a legit interview?
It's kind of legit, I guess. Like I was trying to do a legit interview.
I don't know if I did you a favor.
I was in that movie. Like, yes. What are you? Okay, he's doing a bit. Okay, you know.
So are you grateful for the connection?
It was awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It was.
No, I'm not asking you to be grateful. I'm just wondering if you regret asking for the favor at all.
No, not at all. Like the press people got mad at me, but I do it again. So
why were the press people mad at you?
Because you can't really do interviews or get in touch with people outside of them. But I'm like, but the guy who I'm interviewing
is a friend of mine.
Yeah, he literally called me. So
yes, he went to my high school, not with me, but he went to my high school. He was a guard at my beach, so we have connections outside of just doing media.
Yeah,
he's legit a friend of mine.
Okay,
I mean not a close friend.
Name drop, yeah,
but he's a little. But when you asked, I was like, I don't know if I can make this happen. That's why I didn't want to offer you anything until I got the connection with him. Yes.
No, thank you. So it was awesome. It was but you can find the interview on TikTok at YPA Reviews Chicago and on Instagram at YPA Reviews and YouTube at You'll Probably Agree, and you'll see it's kind of chaotic and fun. Yeah.
And when I had him on the show, I wanted to talk about his career as well.
Yeah.
He told me a lot about the movie he was filming in Korea, which he's really excited about.
Okay.
And then toward the end, I kind of, because he when Gene Hackman died, he had posted something about it. So I was, and I knew it would be kind of weird, and he brushed right past it. So that was really interesting to me. I was like, okay, yeah.
Like who? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but he will seriously message me at 3 a.m. And I'm like, okay, go to. I'm in bed. I don't know where in the world you are right now.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago originally. I don't know if you knew that, or not originally, but
Alabama,
he lived here.
Then he went to DePaul for acting,
but also a little bit of high school, and then guarding at North Avenue. But he has a house here, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
Well, I mean, he can afford that stuff. He's got that Marvel money as
and DC
remember.
now. He's in Peacemaker too.
Yeah, and one question I asked him, and I cut it from the interview because I'm like, oh, probably I shouldn't be asking this, was because I was so in the scene. I'm like, what do I ask this? And I just blurted out, are you going to be in the next Superman? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, you worked with James Gunn on Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, I don't know. And he just went to the next question. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah. He's interesting. So I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was cool. It was really cool. Yeah.
So it's funny. So I saw a post today from a very popular social media influencer, Elise Myers. I don't know if you've ever seen. She's really quirky, and she posted that The Materialists, that she'd seen that movie. It's one of the best movies she's seen in her entire life.
Wow.
And I thought, I am not a millennial.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But that's really still the only movie I've seen in the theaters since 2018.
Right.
So I am planning to go to the theaters soon.
Yeah.
So what do you got that I should go see?
Well, one movie that's coming out, it's a little long, and you kind of have to see the first one because I didn't understand what was going on in the movie, and I had to, even when I Wikipedia'd, the plots of the first one before I saw it. But Neja 2.
Neja? What's Neja 1?
It's spelled N-E space Z-H-A. Neja 2. And it's kind of based off this Chinese mythology about this one character. And it's about this kid who's trying to defend his kingdom. And he's like a soul, but he wants to become immortal, which I'm like, but you're a soul. Aren't you already immortal? How does that work?
Right.
The thing about that movie that I liked is that, unlike most other kids' films, there's actual stakes and important people die. And there's a lot going on in it, and it questions the notion of heaven and hell and who's good and who's actually evil. And it kind of tackles these complicated themes. And this movie that looks like a Pixar film, but it's actually way more complicated. It's produced by A24. It's coming out in theaters this Friday, and I think it's great. The kids probably won't understand it, but they'll love it because there's a lot of crazy Dragon Ball Z level action in it.
Okay.
So it's enjoyable. I didn't think it would, because it's the biggest smash hit of all time, I think, in China or across the globe or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so that's a lot of hype behind the movie. So I see the movie and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't get what was going on throughout most of it, but it was pretty good.
Fair.
So I got to see it again. Yeah, Neja 2 is coming out in theaters.
Neja 2. Okay.
Yeah. What is in theaters now? Because I know on Hulu, there's a movie coming out tomorrow. I can't recommend it. I think the review embargo is until 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
And the movie launches tomorrow on Hulu. So that's not a good sign.
Yikes.
And it was just mediocre. It was called Eeny Meeny, and it was starring Samara Weaving. And she's this girl who's had a really troubled past, and her dad was a drug addict and a loser, and she ends up it's kind of like a female Baby Driver if the action was really bad. And
no.
The action is totally forgettable. And the main the story is really about this troubled relationship that she has with her boyfriend. And if there's one character I can't stand in movies, is the junkie. And the boyfriend is that, and he's insufferable. And thankfully, towards the end, something happens that alleviated some of that pain of having to watch him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a very generic thriller. I think it's trying to say something, but I don't know what the heck it was because it really wasn't that engaging. By the time I got to the end of the film, I was just trying to fight my sleep. But at least, they say in adaptation, win them in the end. And the last 20 minutes are pretty good. They bring Samara Weaving's character full circle, but it felt like too little, too late. They should have done more. So it was almost good, but not quite there. It just had a plot that anyone could have made, and and also the fact that Samara Weaving, she looks like a supermodel.
I don't know who Samara Weaving is.
I thought she was Hugo Weaving's daughter for a while, but it turns out she's not. Agent Smith from The Matrix.
Oh, that guy's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Samara Weaving. Oh,
yeah.
She comes up first, by the way, when you type in Samara.
She's supposed to be this loser in the film,
gorgeous.
but she's gorgeous. I'm like,
good
wait a minute.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm like, how is someone that good looking? I get it. People who are good looking have their hardships, blah, blah, blah.
She's alien good looking. You know what I mean?
know.
It's all long limbs and angular feature. Oh, gosh, she's gorgeous. So she was in Scream 6.
Oh, yeah. All those movies. I only like the first one. The sequels are okay, but they kept doing the same thing, and it was getting good reviews, and I'm just are all these critics high? Why do they like this? But,
It's entirely possible.
Yeah. I mean, they probably could say the same thing about my thoughts on Eddington, but I have other critics who could back me on that one. But yeah, it was just weird to see someone as good looking as her, like in this position where she's supposed to be like this person who has nothing and like hangs around with this boyfriend who like anyone would break up with. You know, like he was giving me like Kevin Federline vibes, which is like a really outdated reference. People don't even know who he is probably. But yeah, whenever I see that character, I'm just like, oh God, am I going to spend 2 hours? Yes, I do.
Here I am.
Yeah.
We are hanging out with Mike Crowley, the reviewer for YPA Reviews. That's, you'll probably agree, reviews, in case you're wondering. YPA Reviews, and he gives his reviews in Guinness mugs. No, in
Guinnesses. Yeah,
Guinness glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, I give it in Guinnesses. I do like little. I need to do the TikTok reaction to Deja too. I haven't put that up yet because I'm just lazy and I didn't do it.
Hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
Let's continue with our conversation in a moment. Let's take a quick break here. We'll be right back. Hey, if you guys have any questions about movies, 773-763-9278 is the Credo Mobile phone and text line. You can join us anytime. And by the way, Credo Mobile has a great deal right now for WCPT listeners. You can get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, a progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com.
This is First Take at Daybreak with Al Kendall. Sundays, 7 a.m., where sharp minds meet real conversations. From city programs making a difference to guests shaping Chicagoland's future, Al's got the mic and the message. You'll hear from folks like Board President Tony Preckwinkle, city and county officials, and maybe even your alderman. He has a rotating cast of insiders who actually know what's going on. If you want the headlines and the backstory, start your morning here. First Take at Daybreak. Sundays, 7 a.m., unplugged and unfiltered.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Did you know? VA home loans are a key to home ownership for those who served.
When you're in the military, you reach a point in your career where you've traveled enough, and that was our situation, and we were ready to retire from the military, and we found a house here that we felt be a great environment for our children to grow up in. The process is, I would say, fairly easy. I've done it 3 times now, so I'm a repeat customer. My message to veterans, active duty, retired, is that seriously look at the VA home loan program. It has been transformational to my family because we were wanting to look for a home here in the DC area that we could settle down in.
Home for me is family. It's a place where you know your neighborhood, you know your neighbors. It's not just the house, it's really what's around that makes it home.
To learn more about VA home loans, visit va.gov/home loan.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
We are hanging out in the studio with YPA reviewer Mike Crowley. That's YPAReviews.com. And we've been talking about a couple of films that are out. But here's the thing. Sometimes a movie comes out. When I was a kid, there was a movie called Ishtar. That everyone talked about how bad it was. It was Warren Beatty and I believe Dustin Hoffman. And people went nuts about how bad it was. And I haven't seen so much bad press about a movie until War of the Worlds. I don't know how bad
I would say it's good press, but yeah.
Well, I mean, people are probably curious about how bad it is. So tell us, how bad is it? Bad
it
good?
Is,
good bad? Is it bad?
It is a masterpiece of terribleness.
Amazing.
It's because like the whole movie, it's like one of those, I think they call them like screen life films.
Okay.
Where it's like it takes place through Ice Cube's like computer screen, and you're seeing everything that he's doing, and everything that you see is like through social media, through screens, and you see it as the tripods, like the Martian tripods, take over the world, and Ice Cube is the guy who figures out through surveillance how to save the world, and nothing makes sense. Basically, he works for the Department of Homeland Security, and the funniest thing in that movie is that throughout the film, he's like in this empty office, which I'm like, it's the Department of Homeland Security. Wouldn't there be more people there? And then like when he runs out of there, there's like no one in the building, and you could argue, well, they got evacuated. I'm like, not in 5 minutes. And yeah, like the line delivery from him is just mwah. I love it. Like there's like a scene where he's going over what the Martians are doing, or I call them Martians because that's what they were in H.G. Wells's book, which is what makes the movie so much more terrible. You're taking classic material and you're turning it into a movie where like where like the whole alien invasion seemed like an afterthought. And yeah, anyways, going back to the line delivery, like there's a scene where he's like talking about how the aliens are invading, and it literally sounds like he's reading the script, which I wouldn't be surprised if he was. He's just like, they're taking over all of our power structures and taking our data. And then like there's a scene where he's supposed to be shocked, and like his reaction is just hilarious. Like you could tell the director's like, okay, now put your hands over your mouth and say, oh my God, you know, and like that's like literally his performance the whole time. And he's supposed to be like this genius with the Department of Homeland Security, but instead of doing his job, he spends most of the time like spying on his daughter. He has like a camera in her fridge at one point, which apparently someone told me those actually exist, which okay, I guess. So you can
see who's eating your, like, I can see that with the roommates. Who ate my hummus was a big thing in college, is all I'm saying. Yeah. Who finished, Paul, ever have some food disappear? I mean, like, who ate my, here. What was that? It happens here. Why is your mic cutting in and out? Oh, hold on a second.
It happened. My own lunch. Yeah.
Do you want? We should put. Can we put a camera in the fridge? Has someone eaten your lunch?
It's been a few years, but it's happened here for sure.
Okay. And by the way, can I also express an apology that a guest asked if they could keep something in the fridge, and I just realized that they did, and they never took it with them, and I just threw it away. It started smelling up that fridge big time. It was a top shelf.
The only person that have.
I know.
Things, yeah.
But they asked me to store it
like a congealed thing of coconut milk out of our fridge.
This was a whole bag of Chinese food, and I'm so sorry. Yeah. I just saw it today that it was still there like 3 weeks later.
Was there like mold on it?
You know what? But here's the thing. Do I make it worse by putting it in the kitchen garbage?
Throw it away on the day that the
I don't know when they're coming. Are they coming? Are they coming before
tomorrow? They're going to be here.
Okay, good. So I threw it in the garbage. I won't be here tomorrow because I get here like they get here while I'm here, and I'll forget. I'll panic. Yeah. It's going to smell for 24 hours, everybody. Strap yourselves in.
What you could do is like put it in a little bag and put it in one of the garbage cans outside so no one smells it.
The possums in the neighborhood will be very happy with that situation. Yeah. They will live like kings. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but War of the Worlds, oh my, you have to see it because it is so bad it's good. And I haven't seen like a movie that, because my favorite comedy is outside of South Park. Trey and Matt are geniuses, and man, are they slamming Trump. Man, they're going after him.
Amazing, yeah. I think I told everybody this the last time we talked about South Park.
Yeah.
There's only one full episode I've ever seen, which was the Virgin Mary bleeding from.
I love that's one of my favorite episodes.
It's the only one I've ever seen all the way through. I'm not a big animated fan. I don't know what happened. And you know what's funny about that? When I was a kid, the animated movie The Hobbit. I loved that movie, and then for some reason I was like, meh. I just never was into like. I mean, Pixar and all that stuff has been fun, but I don't like. I'm not aching for another animated. Like King of the Hill was fine when I would watch it.
It's back now.
I know. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I haven't, but apparently I heard it's incredible. Like one of my friends wrote a review for IGN, and
it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul's loving it.
Yeah, everyone's loving it. The thing is, I never could get into King of the Hill. Like, maybe I should, but, like, I don't know. I'm lazy. I probably won't. I'll probably just play Battlefield tonight or something. I'll probably watch a movie. But, yeah, if you want, I love comedy where they're not trying to be funny.
Yeah,
where they're just failing so horribly that it's coming across in the movie. Because, this guy works for the Department of Homeland Security. He's spying on his kids. He, there's just a lot of weird this visual effects. Oh, my God. God. It's like something from a 2008 Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Amazing.
And apparently,
I kind of love that.
Yeah, apparently this movie was made for like $40 or $60 million, which I'm like, did all that money just go to Ice Cube and Eva Longoria and like nobody else? Because like those visual effects I could have done through my computer, just finding like assets online.
Little Canva.
Yeah.
Just sort of put something together with your graphics.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like, you could literally tell they just copied and pasted it and like just dragged it into the After Effects timeline and synced it up to Premiere. And they were like, yeah, this looks good. And,
wow.
Like the tripods look like a cartoon. At one point, there's like lightning striking, but like the layers for like one of the lightning bolts like goes over the grass, and it's not supposed to be over that layer. So I'm probably talking like technical gibberish right now, but like I'm just noticing that. I'm going,
wow.
How did they get? But I'm like, thank God bless this movie. Thank God they got this so wrong. I'm so entertained right now.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Well, we have about a minute left.
Yeah.
What big movies are coming out? Like, is there anything coming out for Labor Day weekend? Is there anything on the horizon?
Let me Google it because I know. When is Labor Day? Is that next week?
It's in a week and a half.
Oh, okay. Well, next week I can probably just give my brief synopsis of it because I don't know when the official silence for it is. But there's a remake for The War of the Roses coming out. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen the original?
I watched it. Like I've only seen parts, but I watched the original like the night before I saw the remake. I like the remake better.
Oh, no,
really
I don't need to know that, but what did you think of the original?
I thought it was funny. One thing I love...
so dark.
Yeah. Here's the thing I love about Danny DeVito movies is that he's like Ed Wood if Ed Wood knew acting and structure. Like his...
Interesting.
Yeah, because like...
nobody liked War of the Roses when it came out. I was the only person in the theater laughing my ass off.
Oh, really?
And I was only 19 years old when that came out. I was 18. I was a freshman in college. Yeah. I remember because no one I knew liked it. Because we were like, what teenager likes that movie? I was also like 9 and loved Highway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, not Highway to Heaven. Heaven Can Wait. But so anyway, I loved the original.
Yeah.
So this is better.
Yeah, this is better because like the original, it's fun, and like Danny DeVito, like his movies have horrible production design. Like there's like one scene where Danny DeVito he's like talking to the client, and you can just tell like the background outside the window is like some set, and someone's like shaking a tree with their arm.
Amazing.
Yeah,
but the new one's better.
Yeah, the new one's better because we got like a minute, so I'll just wrap it up quick. The new one's better because it's like there's more nuance to it. And it's a little more clever. It's still very over the top. Insane stuff happens in it. But like one problem I had with the original is like they barely focused on the kids. Like they almost didn't exist.
No, by that time. I mean, you kill a pet and you nearly kill each other and you pee on the salmon. Like,
that happened really early in the movie.
By the way, I haven't seen that movie in over 20 years and I remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got to run. YPAreviews.com. Sorry, I cut you off there, but we have to run.
No, you're good. YPAreviews.com. YPA Reviews Chicago on TikTok, and you'll probably agree. Just type that in on YouTube, and that's where a lot of my bread and butter comes in. So.
Maybe come back next Friday.
Yeah.
Do you want to come back next Friday?
Let me check.
Yeah,
I think I can.
Paul Farvar will be here for the show as well. So,
I think I could.
And that's coming up next Friday, and also tomorrow on Richard Chu's show, you've got Karen Byrne. Karen Byrne is the co-host of True Blue Politics podcast. She'll be here, and Kevin Schultz from UIC, author of History, which I love. Why Everybody Hates White Liberals. It's a good show. That's tomorrow morning. And Scott Duff, co-host of Out Chicago, will be on with Jonas Bazito tomorrow. Thank you, Paul. Have a great evening. Talk to you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Love you.
If you're looking to refinance a home after a divorce, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender.